If you have a deep capacity to feel the world, what they call your greatest weakness is about to become your most formidable, unshakable strength. There comes a point. It doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It's more of a quiet settling, deep within your bones. A clarity that arrives not by shutting down, but by tuning in. For so long, you might have moved through life feeling everything so intensely it was exhausting. You were the sponge for moods, the peacekeeper, the one who felt the unspoken tensions in a room. And maybe, somewhere along the line, you were made to believe this made you fragile, too soft for this world. But here's the truth they missed. There wasn't fragility. There was a profound openness, operating without a foundation, a brilliant sensitivity, flowing without banks to guide it. The journey of healing doesn't remove that gift. It fortifies it. Early on, being this way can feel like you're all nerve endings, exposed. Every sharp word lands deeper. Every conflict echoes. You adapt. You placate. You try to mend what isn't yours to fix. You operated on a silent hope. If I am kind enough, if I understand enough, I will finally be safe. But this strategy has a cost, doesn't it? It grinds you not in a crash, but in a slow, imperceptible leak, until one day you notice a shift. Your responses aren't as automatic. You don't rush to smooth things over. The compulsion to manage everyone's emotional weather. It just lessens, and in that space, something new is born. At first, it might feel strange. You might worry, am I becoming cold? Am I losing my heart? You aren't. You're integrating. You are learning to feel deeply without disappearing. This is where an old identity begins to dissolve. The belief that your safety is earned through endless giving. When that story loses its power, your energy stops leaking. You cease explaining your heart to those who aren't truly listening. You no longer confuse compassion with the erosion of your own spirit. And two, the outside world can look unpredictable. Not dangerous in a harmful way, but potent in a way they can't easily categorize. You become less readable to those who relied on your predictable patterns. Guilt loses its grip on you. Emotional pressure doesn't trigger an automatic response. You pause, and in that pause, an entire new way of being becomes possible. But the transformation goes deeper. Healing invites back parts of yourself you were taught to disown. Not darkness, but forgotten strength. Your right to have limits. Your ability to say no as a complete sentence. Traits you once deemed too harsh, too rigid, now settle in as necessary, even kind. Your presence changes. You don't need to speak louder. But when you do speak, your words carry a new weight of clarity, not aggression. You stop negotiating your worth in every conversation. You no longer make yourself small to keep others at ease. And of course, some dynamics must shift. People accustomed to your constant emotional availability may feel unsettled. They might say, "You've changed." And they are right, but not in the way they think. You haven't lost your empathy. You've found your footing. A healed, sensitive person isn't colder. They are profoundly grounded, and grounded empathy is a force. It is selective, intentional. It comes from a full cup, not an empty one. You begin to choose where your energy flows, not from obligation, but from genuine connection. This can be a lonely revelation at first. When you stop overgiving, you see with painful clarity who was there for you, and who was there for what you provided. But this clarity is also your liberation. You are no longer pulled into emotional chaos that isn't yours. You can observe a storm without feeling you must become the shelter for everyone in it. You witness without dissolving. This is the quiet potency of a healed empath. You are no longer reactive. Your calm becomes a deep, unshakable center. You are no longer split between caring for others and protecting yourself. The two now coexist. You feel, but you are not consumed. You understand, but you do not abandon yourself. In a world that runs on emotional reactivity, this steadiness can feel disruptive. Not because you are confrontational, but because you are no longer easily controlled. You don't argue on old terms. You don't defend yourself into exhaustion. You don't chase external validation to know your own value. That changes everything. Healing rewrites your relationship with yourself. You stop seeing yourself only as the one who comforts, forgives, and holds space. You begin to know yourself as one who deserves to receive those very things. This isn't a loud revolution. It's a quiet homecoming. You stop asking for permission to take up space. You stop proving your goodness through your own depletion. This is why they are often misunderstood. From the outside, their peace can be mistaken for detachment. Their boundaries can look like walls. Their thoughtful silence can feel like a void. But inside, there is a wholeness that needs no explanation. And wholeness has a gravity to it. It doesn't bend. It doesn't rush. It doesn't seek permission. True power isn't in being heard by all, but in no longer fearing the silence. But the final, most profound shift is internal. Your inner world feels spacious, uncluttered. You're no longer debating with your own feelings, trying to justify or analyze them into acceptability. You let them move through you. You begin to trust those internal signals, again the gentle pull of a true yes, the firm, bodily no. You were taught to mistrust this inner compass, to override it for the comfort of others. No more. And here's what no one prepares you for. As your self-trust solidifies, you become harder to read. Not because you are hiding, but because you are no longer broadcasting your internal process. You don't narrate your growth. You don't announce your limits. You simply live them. And this quiet embodiment is a language all its own. Some will feel calmer in your presence. Others will feel uneasy without knowing why. Because a healed, sensitive soul no longer mirrors chaos back. It reflects truth. You stop absorbing what was never yours to carry. You discern, and discernment operates from a place of observation, not reaction. When these unconscious patterns are brought into the light, they lose their power over you. The reflex to rescue. The fear that a boundary means abandonment. They loosen, and in that space, your nervous system finds a new rhythm. You feel an internal safety that isn't contingent on external circumstances. This safety changes the very source of your empathy. It flows from choice, not compulsion. You listen from curiosity, not obligation. You give from generosity, not guilt. And people feel this difference at a fundamental level. Your kindness is no longer an open door without limits. You haven't built a fortress. You've cultivated a sanctuary within. This is the real reason a healed empath is seen as formidable. Not because they inflict harm, but because they refuse to collapse. They don't absorb projections. They don't internalize blame. They remain steadfastly themselves. Healing reclaims your quiet authority, not over others, but over your own life. You trust your timing. You honor your need for rest without crafting a lengthy apology for it. Your energy communicates boundaries before your words even need to. Your care becomes clean, free from the residue of resentment. You can be compassionate without overextending, supportive without self-erasure. This is the rare balance. Most swing between overgiving and shutting down, but healed sensitivity lives in the center, fluid, responsive, rooted. From this rooted place, conflict transforms. You no longer need to win the argument. You're okay with being misunderstood, because your sense of self is no longer a democracy needing everyone's vote. This independence frees you. You can hear criticism without crumbling. You can engage in disagreement without feeling threatened. And as this all settles, a deep contentment emerges. A quiet joy. Your actions align with your values. Your limits honor your needs. Your empathy matches your capacity. There is no internal civil war. Your relationships become simpler, more honest. You meet people where they are, from where you are. No overreaching, no self-abandonment, just authentic presence. So, here is the final truth. The healed empath is not dangerous because they cause damage. They are potent because they can no longer be recruited into dysfunction. They don't fuel chaos. They don't play unspoken games. They don't trade pieces of their soul for a sense of belonging. They choose integrity, and they choose peace without apology. This power doesn't shout. It resonates. It is rooted in a profound self-respect. You haven't lost your tenderness. You've given it an unshakable foundation. You haven't stopped feeling. You've mastered the art of staying whole while you do, and in a world that often mistakes empathy for self-erasure. That wholeness is both rare and revolutionary. If this resonated with your journey, please like this video. It helps winds of thought reach others walking this path. Thank you for being here.